Assalamu alaikum. This is Shahrukh Mujumdar welcoming you all to the English news from BTV Chattogram. Let's begin with the headlines. Hearing of Abu Said murder case starts tomorrow. Judicial statement from state side completed. Hearing on reintroduce of caretaker government system in appellate division to be held on October 21st. Construction of Parky Tourism Complex to be completed by December, says Commerce and Tourism Advisor Sheikh Bashiruddin. National poet Qazi Nazrul Islam's death anniversary observed today. Publicity ahead of Dhaka elections gets momentum. Israeli forces kill 32 Palestinians, including 8 waiting for aid in Gaza. And Bangladesh beat Nepal by 4-1 goals in SAF Under-17 Women's Championship at Chingalimthang Stadium in Bhutan. Those were the headlines. Now moving on to the details. The prosecution at the International Crimes Tribunal 2 today placed its opening statement in a crimes against humanity case over the killing of Begum Rokeya University student Abu Said during the July-August mass uprising of 2024. Chief Prosecutor Muhammad Azul Islam delivered the statement demanding justice over the brutal killing that shocked the entire nation. Following the statement, the prosecution screened 2 video clips showing how Abu Said was shot from close range by policemen. Martyr Abu Said's father, Maqbul Hussain, who was present in the courtroom, was seen wiping his tears during the hearing. At the end of the day's proceedings, Justice Muhammad Nazrul Islam Chaudhry, chairman of the 3-member ICD-2 panel, adjourned the hearing till tomorrow, when the tribunal is scheduled to begin recording witness testimonies. Speaking to journalists after delivering the opening statement, Tajul Islam said this trial will set an example so that state power in Bangladesh cannot be used in the future to carry out such killings. The appellate division has granted permission to appeal against the verdict that abolished the caretaker government system. The court will once again hear the appeal on October 21st. The hearing took place today at the full bench of the appellate division, comprising 7 judges led by the Chief Justice. Earlier in the morning, during the second day of hearings, Chief Justice Dr. Syed Rifat Ahmed stated that the court does not wish to provide a temporary solution by reinstating the caretaker government. He said the appellate division seeks an effective solution regarding the election time government so that the process is not repeatedly disrupted. The Chief Justice further noted that to establish democracy in the country, the court's decision should have far-reaching effects. Barristers Ruhul Quddus Kajal and Muhammad Shishir Munir argued on behalf of the petitioners, while Attorney General Muhammad Asadujaman represented the state. The Election Commission has approved the draft roadmap for the 13th National Parliamentary Election. The Commission said the roadmap is likely to be announced tomorrow. Meanwhile, hearings on constituency delimitation ahead of the 13th parliamentary election are underway at the Commission. The hearing began at 10 a.m. at the Election Commission building in Agargaon, chaired by EC Senior Secretary Akhtar Ahmed, with Chief Election Commissioner A.M. Nasiruddin, 4 election commissioners and senior EC officials in attendance. Today's hearing is on the redemarcation of 18 parliamentary constituencies. In the first half of the day, hearings for Rangpur and Rajshahi regions, Panchgord 1, 2, Rangpur 1, Kurigram 4, Sirajganj 2, 5, 6 and Pabna 1 have been completed. In the second half, hearings will begin at 2:30 p.m. for constituencies in Mymensingh, Sylhet and Faridpur regions, Tangail 6, Jamalpur 2, Kishorganj 1, Sylhet 1, Faridpur 1 and 4, Madaripur 2 and 3 and Shariatpur 2 and 3. Commerce and Tourism Advisor Sheikh Bashiruddin said the construction work of Parki Porjoton complex would be completed by December. He told this to reporters while visiting the project in the morning today. The implementation of the project has been delayed due to many reasons, especially the water problem, he added. Secretary to the Civil Aviation and Tourism Ministry, Begum Nisreen Jahan, said the tourism complex at Parki Beach is a very potential project and the active participation of local people, tourist police and law and order forces is very important to implement it. Chairman of Bangladesh Porjoton Corporation, Saima Shaheen Sultana, Project Director Majidur Rahman, Upajila Nirbahi Officer of Anwarat Tahmin Akhtar and Assistant Commissioner Deepak Tripura, among others, were present at that time. The death anniversary of the national poet Kazi Nazrul Islam is being observed across the country, including in the capital, through various programs. In the morning, flowers were offered at the poet's grave beside the Central Mosque of Dhaka University by different socio-cultural organizations and political parties. Floral wreaths were placed at the grave by the Ministry of Cultural Affairs, the Nazrul Institute, along with political parties and cultural organizations. Dhaka University Vice-Chancellor, along with students from different halls, also joined the occasion. While paying tribute, BNP Senior Joint Secretary General Ruhul Kabir Rizvi said that the ideals of Kazi Nazrul Islam are the essence of building an advanced and democratic society. He added that the poet was a source of inspiration for the national movements and struggles, including the July uprising. Rizvi also remarked that if free and fair elections are held on time, the voting rights of people deprived for the past 15 years will be restored. On the occasion, a pledge was expressed to build a humane and harmonious society inspired by the ideals of Nazrul. The nation today is observing the 49th death anniversary of national poet Kazi Nazrul Islam, recalling his undying legacy of defiance against injustice as well as his profound messages of love, humanity and equality. The poet, lyricist, composer and revolutionary voice of Bengali literature and music, affectionately known as Dukhu Miya, passed away on 12 Bhadra 1383 at the then PG Hospital in Dhaka. The rebel poet breathed his last in Dhaka and was buried next to the mosque on Dhaka University campus, fulfilling a wish he had made in one of his poems. Various socio-cultural organizations choked out elaborate programs to mark the day, including discussions, prayers and cultural events. Nazrul was born on 11 Jyeshto 1306 Bongabdo in the village Churulia, West Bengal of India's Bardhaman district. His father's name was Kaji Fakir Ahmed and mother was Jahida Khatun. The nation got inspirations from Nazrul's poems and songs during the Great Liberation War in 1971 and other democratic movements and struggles. Following Bangladesh's independence, Nazrul was brought to Dhaka with his family in 1972. He was accorded the status of national poet, provided state accommodation in Dhanmondi, awarded an honorary D.Litt by Dhaka University in 1974 and granted Bangladeshi citizenship in 1976. The same year, he was honored with the Ekoshe Padok. The Dhaka University's Central Students' Union, DAKSU, and Hall Union elections have enlivened the campus atmosphere. Since this morning, several candidates have been carrying out election campaigns individually. Candidates are permitted to campaign daily from 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. and in female dormitories until 10 p.m. At Modhur Canteen and in front of Upper Jia Bangla, they are distributing leaflets among gathered students. The candidates are pledging various facilities and benefits for students. However, they have also alleged multiple violations of the Electoral Code of Conduct. The university authorities have announced that no exceptions will be made in cases of code of conduct violations. Earlier on Tuesday afternoon, the Election Commission published the final list of candidates. In this election, 471 candidates have been finalized for 28 positions, with a total of 39,874 voters. BNP's Secretary General Mirza Fakhrul Islam Alamgir has said that vested political quarters are deliberately raising new demands one after another in order to sabotage the election, something unfamiliar to the people of Bangladesh. He made these remarks today at a discussion organized by the Bhashani Janashakti Party at the National Press Club, marking the 10th death anniversary of Kazi Jafar Ahmed, one of the organizers of the Liberation War. Bhashani Janashakti Party Chairman Sheikh Rafiqul Islam Babul presided over the discussion. Mirza Fakhrul said that Kazi Jafar was one of the key leaders of the 20-party alliance. He struggled for many years to establish Bangladesh as a democratic state. He also called upon everyone to work together to safeguard democracy and resist fascism. Now, international news. Gaza's health ministry has recorded 10 deaths due to famine and malnutrition over the past 24 hours, including 2 children, bringing the total number of hunger-related deaths to 313,119, of whom were children. Israeli forces killed 32 Palestinians since dawn on Wednesday, including 8 waiting for aid. Israel is using overwhelming force in its push to occupy Gaza City, with tanks and warplanes leveling entire blocks. Meanwhile, Israel's strikes on Gaza have continued to target schools and hospitals. Over the past 22 months, more than 90% of schools in the enclave have been destroyed. Among them are schools run by the United Nations, now unusable and in need of complete reconstruction. According to the latest figures from UNRWA, the UN Agency for Palestinian Refugees, 97% of Gaza's 564 schools have sustained damage. Of these 518 schools, nearly 92% require either full reconstruction or major repairs or to resume operations. Meanwhile, in Syria, 6 soldiers were killed in an Israeli drone strike south of Damascus. Syria's state television, Al-Ikhbariya TV, reported that the attack came just a day after Damascus condemned previous Israeli strikes. AFP reported that since the overthrow of longtime ruler Bashar al-Assad by an Islamist coalition last December, Israel has carried out hundreds of attacks in Syria. The Trump administration has issued a formal notice imposing an additional 25% tariff on Indian goods. The tariff took effect at 12:01 a.m. on Wednesday. This is in addition to an existing 25% retaliatory duty, bringing the total tariff rate to 50%. According to the notification from the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, the move comes in response to what Washington calls threats from the Russian government. India has been targeted under this policy, largely due to its continued purchase of Russian oil. The new tariffs are expected to significantly reduce Indian exports to the United States, further straining ties between Washington and New Delhi. India has made it clear that it will not compromise on national interests. Amid escalating tensions over tariffs, senior officials from both countries held a virtual meeting yesterday under the 2+2 interseasonal dialogue framework. Discussions covered trade, investment, and strengthening nuclear partnership, along with energy security. India's Ministry of External Affairs said both sides also expressed interest in deepening defense cooperation. This includes a new 10-year defense partnership framework and progress in defense industry, science and technology collaboration. The meeting reaffirmed commitments through the Quad alliance to build a secure, strong and more prosperous Indo-Pacific region. Now news on sports. Football. Shourabhi Akanda Preeti slammed a brilliant hat-trick as Bangladesh beat Nepal by 4-1 goals in their return match of the SAF Under-17 Women's Championship held at Changlimitang Stadium in Bhutan. Apart from Preeti's hat-trick with 3 goals in the match, Thiwaina Marma supported her with a solitary goal for Bangladesh after leading the first half by 2-1 goals. Nepalese keeper Bhumika Budathoki scored a lone goal for her team. Bangladesh started the game quite positively, creating several scoring chances, but failed to convert those into a goal, lacking proper finishing. Thuinua Mama, however, broke the deadlock in the 39th minute. Receiving a pass from midfield, she darted down for the right wing and sent the ball home with a perfect right-footer angular shot, giving Bangladesh a deserving lead. Just a minute into the second half, Preeti doubled the lead with a clinical finish. Nepal responded quickly with Bhumika Budathoki pulling one back in 48th minute to momentarily bring her side back into the contest.